What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out a title called Manor Lords, which I think is very hotly awaited, and I finally got my sweaty little palms all over it. The demo is available now as part of the Steam Next Fest, so what you should be aware of is over the next week or two, we're going to be mostly covering Steam Next Fest demos and getting people hyped up for things that are coming down the pipe. That's just the way that it goes. Now, I've played this game for about an hour prior to the recording of this. It doesn't save, so I can't show you that, but I do know what I'm doing from this point forward, and so this should be a pretty smooth experience. But if you've never seen Manor Lords before, this is basically a game about running your own medieval fief. You are the lord of that fief, and you must run it, and you must make sure everybody has the things they need. The twist is that your fief can be called up and levied for war at any time, and the performance of the units that you supply to the greater war effort and conquest and whatnot are directly linked to how much money they're making inside your colony and like what their houses look like and whether or not they're happy. And so anyways, it's got a bunch of interesting ideas. The game is utterly gorgeous from what I've played so far. I don't really have a whole lot of complaints, but we're going to spend the next 25 or 30 minutes edited down playing the game so that you can figure out whether or not it deserves a place on your wish list. If after watching this you wanted to play the demo, it is available. You can look down below in the description, and then on top of that, you'll also find a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream. But the spiel on out of the way, let's go ahead and play. Now, there's 3 different modes here. We have Robber Baron mode, the Raubrita mode, but we can't play that. Realm Conquest and Rise to Prosperity. Rise to Prosperity is what they've given us access to. Ooh, I'm gonna be Grandpa Grumpy Beard over here. Grandpa Grumpy Beard. There we go. Sir Grandpa Grumpy Beard. And then we've also got to decide what our coat of arms looks like. I think I could probably do something like that right there. Oh, wow, dude. I have no idea. What does Dimidation do? Oh, okay. There are apparently many different layers for what you can do with your sigil. It's pretty cool stuff. Maybe I'll just have like a, I'll have like a half chevron running across that one. And so that's the upper quadrant right there. I want it to be blank. That's the full shield right there. I want that to have like a... I mean, he's kind of little. Can I make him more bigger? Oh, he gets blocked off by the paneling. Gotcha. Okay, I suppose that makes sense. I mean, I still like it, though. And then, like, on the 3rd layer, that's where we're playing around with that right there. Okay. Yeah, let's do this, then. We'll put the eagles on... Ooh, I like that right there. Okay, yeah, I think that looks good. And then we can checker that up right there with yellow. Ooh, I dig that, too. Yeah, that's going to be our sigil right there, man. That's going to be our coat of arms. Hopefully it keeps us nice and warm with gold. Let's dive on into the game, and Grandpa Grumpy Beard's going to see if he can actually run a colony or if everybody's going to starve and get converted on into Germanic skeletons. Guess we'll find out. All right, so welcome on in. The game centers on the cow, so I can only assume that the cow is the main character of this adventure. We've received a message. It's very thematic. It's got good writing. It's actually pleasurable to read. But since we're doing this for first impressions purposes, I'd kind of like to get to playing the game so that we can get further on in. We have an ox named Bartholomew, and Bartholomew the ox actually has a honest-to-God function. Like, he actually does things. The first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to start putting roads around, because that allows people to use hand carts to move things around the map faster. And so I'm going to build a road right over to there. And then the hitching post can actually be moved. And so I'm going to move the hitching post kind of to like a centralized location right there. The hitching post, basically, a guy will go over here that works at the hitching post. He will pick up, we'll go idle laborers on that because I don't want to assign anybody specifically to it. But basically, if there's a construction site that needs to have things delivered to it, like logs, a guy will come, he'll grab the ox, they'll go to the hitching post, he'll get him all rigged up with all of his ox tackle, and he'll bring him back over here. They'll grab the log and take it to the construction site so that it can be used properly. The game does allow you to move a lot of the production buildings without having to reconstruct them, which I think is a very, very nice feature. I love it. But for right now, the things we need to get done, we need to make a granary. We need to make a logging camp. Our berries are super far away. The map is not randomized for the purposes of this demo, so you're always going to have to kind of deal with the fact that the berries are like a million miles off to the left-hand side. I think the trees move around a little bit from what I've seen so far, because I don't remember there being this many trees The last time I came over here, this was like a wide open field, but maybe I'm wrong about that. My powers of observation have not always been known for their acuity. Let's go ahead and we're going to put in a logging camp first because we need to get ourselves some logs. It's log, it's big, it's round, it's wood. Now, while they do that, I'm going to go ahead and put it on fast forward. But we have 5 idle families. You don't have workers in this game, you have families. And if they have a house, they will have more of their siblings and whatnot move in, which will then give you more workers. You assign an entire family to an industry, and the entire family will work on that industry, which means that things that require a lot of hands get done faster. And so anyways, that's one of those things you want to keep in mind. And as you can see, Bart the ox has brought over the log that's required for the logging camp over here. And now, all the idle workers should come over and start working on it. I'm going to put a road over to there. The roads instantly build, so it's not too big of a deal to get that going. And as you can see, they are now building the lumber camp. And I am happy to say the game does have basically step function building where they put in the parts one by one, and it does seem to be fairly historically accurate in the way that they build everything. Your characters are very highly detailed. They have little outfits. This guy's got like a little slouchy beanie hood on. This guy's got like a little wee willy winky hat so that he can run all through the town with his candle. You know, everybody's got thematic things going on. Now, we are going to have to supply food before too long. And so I think since we've got a hunting camp very, very close to where we started out, I'm going to put a hunting camp kind of like down the road and over there so that they can use that. And then we're going to have to decide on a designated spot for the granary, which is where all our food is going to go. I think that's as good a spot as any to plop it down. So I'm just going to do it. And then we also need a Forager Hut before the game is going to be happy with us. Oh, we need a storehouse as well. So I guess I'll queue that up. We'll put the storehouse like right there. Perfect. And then our berries. Our berries are going to be inside this menu, which is basically the strip the land menu. And there's not really a lot of great places for us to put the berry harvester. Not a lot of fantastic ways around it. My suggestion would be that we just put it here in town, even though it's inefficient. Because either way, what's going to happen is our granary is over here. So we can put it over here, which means that they gather faster, but transit takes longer to get it to the storehouse. Or we could put them over here, which means it takes them longer to gather, but they instantly drop it off at the storehouse. You got to pick your poison, all right? And I'm just going to go right there because I like the path of least resistance. So now that we have all of our basic stuff in, let's just let the game ride. And I guess we'll kind of come back once it's all been assembled. As you can see, everybody is sprinting to work. If we have idle laborers, we'll put them on the logging camp to gather more logs. You can click this menu right here, and anybody that is idle will just go work there in their free time. Once we start running out of villagers to do things in the free time and we start seeing economic inefficiencies, we'll start manually assigning people to these locations. But for right now, I don't think it's really necessary. We can run some roads while we wait for this all to build. And in fact, let me look and see where underground water is. The underground water is in different spots this time around. So some stuff is randomized. Last time I played, the water ran this way and then south down this way. That's a really inconvenient spot for a lot of that water to be. I kind of hate it. Like a lot of it's being eaten up by road. And the water dictates where I can put my villagers' houses because they need access to a well. And so I guess I'll drop it right here for now. And we'll have that arc around and maybe connect right there. Just so we have a full road built. And then I'm going to wait to build the well until they ask me to build the well. But for now, we just got to let them build. Now, I would like to segment this out over here as well. We'll have that kind of run this way. Nice and straight. And then we'll have this connect down to here. And then we'll probably subdivide this right here so that we can have a three-way crossing right there, which I feel okay about. And as you can see, everything comes together beautifully. Like, the game is super tactile. The controls are very easy to figure out. The tools that they give you that are available for your building are also really easy to fill out. I honestly think that these developers have a winner on their hands if they can balance the economic stuff with the military stuff. But our goals are now done. We're going to assign a berry forager they're going to go out and get berries from that pile right there. You can zoom on anybody, and they've got little dialogue things that they say. We can set the work area right here. It's going to be over here on those berry bushes. And we've got a new message. They want us to build a well, and they want me to begin building the Burgage, which is basically the peasant suburbs. Every time you build a suburb, you're going to get more families that move into your neighborhood. They do autofill with outsiders. But for now, we've actually got to find a place for all of our mainline people to live. There's no way around it. I would suggest doing the well first, though, because it's really, really easy for us to accidentally... it's really easy to accidentally use up your water supply. And so anyways, we've got to wait for resources to come on in. I'm going to assign a family to logging so that that's guaranteed to get done. As you can see, this guy is going down the road. It's Friedlein. It's Friedlein. Off and away Friedlein goes. I can never do that throat thing. My mom speaks German, where you got to do like the Brunhilde thing, where like you say like the R in like the back of your throat. Somebody showed me a trick for that one time, and then I promptly forgot it. I've never been able to consistently produce that sound on certain consonants. I particularly have trouble with it after F's, but B's I can do it every single time. I don't know. But my mom speaks German. She doesn't do it very often, but she does speak German. But I've never really been able to pick up the phonetics very well. But that's going to give us a small trickle of food, as will the hunting camp. That'll also give us a small trickle of food. And so we've got a number of people assigned to jobs right now. And we need to get everybody into houses, but we got to wait for wood in order for that to work. So give me a second, and hopefully the wood will come on through. Now, we do have our logs, so let's go ahead and we'll put in the well. Probably right there is the best place to put it, in all honesty, because that leaves this open for a subdivision, and this open for a subdivision too. Now, we need to get our supplies off the ground, so I'm going to have both the storehouse and the granary on auto labor so that people will move stuff around when they have a job or when they don't have another job, but otherwise they'll stick to their idle tasks like building. The well is up and running, so it's good to go. That's one of our objectives down, and then we will knock out this first section of Burgage. Unfortunately, Burgage is very expensive, so I don't know if this is going to work, but this is a really cool tool they give you to make your subdivisions bond to the shape of the map. I absolutely love and adore it. I think it looks great. I think we made that too wide. It may want something like this right here. Okay, so that's not wide enough. Call it that right there. We'll circle it around. I wanted it to do multiple houses, but I think we don't have the resources, so it's not subdividing it into multiple housing plots. Let's wait a minute until we have like... Let's say until we have like 10 wood in the stockpile. And as you can see, he's using that to move things to the stockpile as well. And they should start cleaning up some of this food and some of these supplies that are laying on the ground over here before they rot, hopefully. Let's just knock out a house at a time if we have to. I'm not against the idea. We'll go ahead and pull this back to here. Kind of like a big plot. I don't know if one person needs that much land, but you know what? Go ahead and do it. Why not? And then we'll see if we can get something kind of like set up over here, too. Just like a big old suburb right there. Yeah, I don't want you to have that much land, my man. Maybe we'll call it that right there. There we go. That's too small, huh? All right. I'm working on it. I'm trying. Plot too small. There we go. It doesn't hate that, so I'll let it have that right there. It's running the roads all weird and funny. Like, it's trying to loop that back over to there, but it's fine. It shouldn't have any negative effect on the overarching gameplay. The thing is, you can make this tile. So basically, it's not doing it right now, but you can make it do it, where if you run it out like so, you can subdivide this into smaller plots, basically. And so, like, let's say that we get that right there. It just wants the 4 corners. It was doing it when I was testing the game out, but if you made, like, a long rectangle, it would divide it into, like, 5 housing plots, but it's not doing it right now. I don't know why. I don't know if it needs, like, a particularly straight chunk of road, or like what it prefers in order to make that work, but it's not doing it right now. But it is a possibility. It is a thing that can happen. There's no hotkey or anything. It was just doing it on its own the last time that I did it. There we go. It'll do that right there. Perfect. Get those all done. People now live here. I just wanted to show you the tiling thing that it does sometimes. I think it does it if it's confined by roads, but if it's not confined by roads on all 4 quadrant sides, then it doesn't work. I think that's the trigger. But the bigger houses, they can be upgraded from this menu right here to add gardens and things to them. Kind of a cool little feature. And then the garden will actually supplement the communal food supply. And so the bigger plots, there's actually a reason that they're bigger. You can add add-ons to them that will either aid these guys in the job that I do throughout the town, or it will allow you to kind of get like extra food or like other little things. And so anyways, this guy isn't big enough to have the upgrades, but this guy definitely is. And so I guess there's kind of like tiled suburban housing, and then there's also like mega housing that allows them to get add-ons and kind of be like the important guys and the important guiles of Neuenfurt. Very nice. So our houses are starting to get built. They're dragging logs out here about as fast as they can. Looks like we've got just like a little house being built right here. It's not much, but it's something humble for people to live inside of, and our approval is going up, so that's good. Storage is full at the hunting camp. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Because I'm going to assign people to the granary and the storehouse in just a minute. That guy's spending 6 months out of the year to go pick up berries every single day. 2 of the houses have been built, so that's nice. Well, I guess these guys can have the little add-ons too, so I guess it's not constrained by size. But we've moved up to a village now. We are no longer kind of like a hovel of camps out in the middle of the wilderness. We are actually officially like a functional village that is recognized on maps, and people refer to it. They'd be like, oh yeah, dude, I know those smelly turds that live out west. We got a new message. As you walk the perimeter, surveying your village with pride, a woman walks past you. She's bent nearly double under a sack, and you ask how long she's been walking. She tells you it takes her half a day to get all the food she needs for her family from the hunters and farmers that surround the village. If only there was a marketplace where people could get food, clothing, and firewood, they would be happier and have more time for work. Yeah, I think we can make that function. I think we can knock that out. I don't know exactly where I want the market to go, but we'll do it. We'll set it up. I'd really prefer for everyone to be housed first, though. That's what I would prefer anyways. Really fantastic soundtrack in this game, too. It's like non-stop medieval bangers all day to study to. So all of our constructions are done, and as you can see, it's added another family to the area where we live. And so these guys are doing their thing down here. To every family and outhouse. That's my motto in this settlement. We're going to want to put the market somewhat close to where these people live at so that we can minimize the amount of time it takes them to go get the things that they need. I would say that a good solid spot for the marketplace to begin would be kind of like right there. And it doesn't need to be actually that large. It can be a little bit smaller. So there we go. And then we just need to plop down stalls, basically. So we'll put in a firewood stall. We'll put in a food stall. And then we'll put in an underwear stall. That way people can get brand new britches for when theirs get stainy. And then the other thing that we can do is we can actually put in an official trading post as well, which I think is a strong play because the official trading post is going to allow us to make tax money. Like, this is people just redistributing things. As a local lord, we can't have that. We need to interject ourselves as an unnecessary middleman who gets to collect tax revenue off the situation. Otherwise, society just functions too well, all right? Society just functions too well without me interjecting myself into the middle of it. There needs to be more complication. There needs to be more paperwork. There needs to be more like W-8s and like W-2s and I-40s. And until we get to that point, we have not designed the optimal society, which is then optimal because I make money off of it. We're not getting enough berries. I'm going to assign a couple more families to berry gathering just because the walk is so long. But we now have a new objective, which is build level 2 Burgage plots. All of these houses are upgradable. There's a little button right here that allows you to upgrade them to the next tier. However, they need things. If it is black, it means that you don't have that requirement yet. If it's green, it means that that is required to go up to the next level. If it's red, it means not only is it required, but if you do not supply that, people will get very angry and very grumpy with you. We also... Did I build a wood chopper? We need a wood chopper. We only have a little bit of firewood. And so while we're stockpiling twigs and berries and things, we definitely need to get ourselves a wood chopper. Yeah, Woodcutter's Lodge. Exactly. Woodcutter's Lodge should probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of the stockpile to make this all work. And then I'm probably just going to subdivide this off with roads real fast. There we go. I knew I could get it to work. It doesn't want to run to that corner, though, unfortunately. It's kind of a bummer, because I wanted it to run to that corner. So we'll just have like a little road over there, but I'm trying to optimally use our space. I mean, it's not pretty, but it works. I'll take it. It's not making me jiggle with joy. I can't commence the jiggling, but is what it is for right now. All of our stalls are up and running, which is great. Berries should be coming in at a much more rapid rate. The berries, they're not going to be available anymore after November, and they go dead for a little while, and so I really want to capitalize on this food resource if I possibly can. Like, if only to hold back the amount of food drain that we have going on. Honestly, I think it's faster to have it down here. I think it's faster. Yeah, move the building, I guess. Like, because I had like hundreds of food the last time I played the game from doing this. And so anyways, pretty sure we want to knock this building out, and then we only have like one more month to harvest with what's going on over here after they get it built. That's kind of life. I should have put it down here in the first place. I figured it wouldn't matter, but it actually appears to matter, so I'll put it close over here, and then we'll just rely on the farriers to move everything around. There we go. All right, we'll put 3 families on that, and you guys go and get the berries. There we go. And get as many of them as you possibly can before winter gets here, because our food supply is not quite as good as I would like it to be to deal with winter. Yeah, I'd like to get that number up to 6 months, and I'd like to get the fuel up to a little bit higher too. Like, give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. All right, let's see. There you go. That's what a food supply looks like. All right, I probably don't need 3 people on that now. We'll just leave 1 guy on it. For the rest of you, we are now chopping wood. I will more than likely modify wood chopping with 1 more guy, although I don't think we have the oxen to actually move it around the way I want to. We need to build ourselves a marketplace, like an actual market stall. Right there, so that I can sell surplus goods to the... You may have no doubt seen traders coming through. When the trader comes through, they stop at the market if you have somebody working there, and you can sell extra stuff to them, and they'll just give you money in return. And eventually, we're going to have to pay the annual royal tax. We don't have to do it right now, but we're going to have to do it pretty soon. In fact, speak of the devil, there he is. There's our guy right there, stiffly riding a donkey like he's got to take a dump. We should probably build a few more houses just to get our population up. We have 21 people working here, which means that we have like 5 years worth of food. Because I think everybody eats 1 food once a year, if I remember correctly. I might be remembering wrong, but this guy's growing a garden over here. Look at that. That garden upgrade, what's that? You got like some cabbages over there. You got some carrots over there, dude. Yup. Let no one in the village be without the fibers. The fibers, they will guide us. As soon as this is done, too, I'll be a lot happier. I would love to run a little road for thee. There's our little marketplace right there. And what that allows us to do basically try to run out another little suburb. I don't know if that's going to be wide enough. It's going to be close. I'll bulldoze the road if it ends up not being wide enough, or we can put other things in there. But basically, I wanted this to be another set of burgers over here that people can live inside of. Dude, all this talking about burgers, I'm recording this like late in the evening, and it's like dinner time, dude. I keep hearing the word burger, and I keep being like, in my stomach, man. I'm hungry. I'm recording this one on an empty stomach right now. Believe me when I say these peasants are eating better than I am. And we do need more fuel coming on in. Like, they're making progress on the fuel. But let's get another family working on the woodcutters over there, I think. I would like to get our population up a little bit further. I suppose we could burger this out down here, too. Or maybe just get like another little burger house right here. I like the sound. Man, the soundtrack, dude. It's making me feel feelings right now. I was told that I would not have to feel feelings while playing video games. And right now, I am very much feeling feelings. Slap that one in right there to get a new family moved in. Speed the game up for a minute. And pretty soon, winter is going to start on us. Veentar will be here. Hopefully the wood choppers can get a little bit ahead of it with the fuel. Because it looks like fuel's going to be the problem. Alright, trade post is up and ready to go. So we're going to try to maintain like 65 berries in our stock. And it looks like that's going to be our import price. Where's our export price at? I want our export price. But like, I'm totally fine with trading berries. Like, I'm all good with it. Export only. There we go. Can we do both? Yeah, full trade. Like, if we have too little, spend money on it. If we don't have enough, well, yeah, perfect. And then we got to assign a family to be in there for when the next trader comes by. But I don't have anybody that I can put aside of there right now. So I'm just gonna say the sentence really quickly, and then. Like firewood is mostly okay right now. It says we only have 2 months worth of survival fuel, but yeah, it says we need 21 to supply everybody with fuel for the winter, so I think we'll be okay. I'm not that worried about it. Got a lot of berries coming on in. Secondary house has been put in right there, so we've got a new family, which is great. Family is awesome. We'll assign one of them to be the village trader and maybe make us some money so that we're not behind the 8-ball when the king swings through and is like, hey, where's my money? And slaps me in the ear. He cuffs me about the ear. That will be unacceptable. If we wanted to take these up to level 3, we need to supply some stuff. So they're going to need 2 different types of clothing. They are going to need 2 different types of food. They are going to need a type of entertainment, and they are going to need a Jesus booth. Otherwise, they simply shan't not upgrade their house. They refuse. Live more comfortably? No, sir. I refuse until you have made it so that I can go talk to the Jesus. I will be as uncomfortable as possible for as long as possible, until the Jesus has been contacted. All right, let's go ahead and maybe I could throw in some more burger joints down here. That's just one plot right there. Oh man, that guy's gonna have a baller plot of land. It's too thin. I didn't manage the curve properly. We can do out click though, and remove that chunk of road. I'll try to. It's hard to see, but I'll try to keep it straighter this time. There we go. That's still just gonna be one big old beefy house, huh? Yeah, I'd say we could go 2 more houses right there. Let's do that. I'm gonna subdivide it out that way. Looks good to me. Food and firewood look solid, so really the only goal that we need to accomplish right now is to survive the winter. That's pretty much it. If we make it through the winter, we're going to be all good. The game does have a seasonal system. It's clearly delineated. You can see it down in the bottom right. It will give you the exact display for what you're doing. So, like, it'll tell you the exact months where things start and end, which is great. We should start seeing some snow come in pretty soon. We've got new families coming on in, which is great. Work area empty. Oh, they got all the berries. Look at you guys over here. Look at you guys. All right, so the granary needs a worker. The storehouse needs a worker.
Let's get to work.
And then hunting is going fine. Not too worried about that. Wood cutting appears to be going fine. Logging has 2 families on it. That's probably also fine. I think we're probably good. I could assign people to the clothing stalls and whatnot. I'll go ahead and just put these on idle work only. I don't want somebody to, like, long-term put things in the distribution stalls for a living. But I do want the contingency to be there. Is he gonna buy our stuff? Oi, sir, buy our stuff. I need mun-muns. I'm broke. The king's gonna have my neck if I don't do this. There's also a world map, by the way, that shows all the other little counties. There will be war waged in between these counties. It will have effects on things. It's kind of a cool idea. It's upside down for some reason. I don't know how to rotate it. I've tried middle click, right click, out click, control click, shift click. Don't know how to rotate it so that it's like, I think it's facing this road right here is why. Is because it wants to keep it aligned with what we're currently building. And if you look, all the roads and the buildings and stuff that we put on there, they fill in the map. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that a really cool detail? But anyways, this is Manor Lords. The demo, a little bit limited, but very, very, very fun. I think it's cool. I definitely think you should go play around with it and see how far you can take it. There are a number of things that are not implemented yet, but I have high hopes after playing this demo for this game. The developer seems to have an understanding of how to make a game feel good and how to make the tools inside of a game function well and, like, snap properly. I'm happy with it. I have really no complaints, in all honesty. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day, so you don't have to. I'll be back tomorrow with some more Steam Festival coverage. Take care, everybody. That's all I got, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.